Hi, and welcome to a special edition of Loud and Proud Orlando. It's Friday, February the 24th, 8:46 p.m. Thank you so much for being live with us. About 12 people live right now. Thank you for your support. We are live right now on all of our social media outlets. We're available on Twitter as LPO underscore podcast, also on YouTube live right now, and also on Facebook on Latin Proud Orlando. So thank you so much for being live with us. We have a special edition today. We are hours away from Orlando City's home opener against the New York Red Bulls at Exploria Stadium with brand new delicious food. I want to say it's the Cholo Dogs and a lot of the other places. Four Rivers, Teak. I think a lot of the season STMs requested that to improve the fan experience, and I think the club is delivering big time. So I want to give kudos to the club on that and to Jared Dillon. And we have predictions today, my friends. We have predictions: most yellow and red cards, most assists, most goals, breakout player, rookie of the year, etc., etc., etc. And then some MLS team predictions. Will Kai Kamara beat Chicago's, you know, uh, knight in a shiny armor? Maybe it's the partner Shaqiri needs to succeed in the MLS. We'll see. We'll talk about that and more. Thank you so much for being with us. How you doing, Paola? How you doing?
City, you are my best friend. No, I'm
Dale
super
mi
pumped.
amor,
Eh, I
quiero
I heard that
volar.
there's no new songs, but they're coming old songs to the wall again.
Vamos,
So,
vamos, vamos.
Old songs?
so
What old songs?
90 minutes, something like that, or that's not an old song. It's a new song then. I don't know. It's new
Is
for
it
me.
is it maybe
So
a Bad
I
Bunny
don't know that one.
song?
I don't know, no Bob Bunny this time, but I'm super pumped. I don't know, I'm like a little girl before Santa comes with gifts tonight. So let's see, but I'm super pumped to be here for this special pot.
John, how are you, my friend?
I'm
Good
doing
good
great.
evening.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait. I'm gonna be a ball of nerves tomorrow, but that's always
Yeah.
the way I am on opening day. I got such high hopes this season, and
No
it's
pressure, but the
as they
city,
say in England, it's the hope that kills you.
yep. And City has not lost in an open season game. So no pressure. No pressure.
Oh, really, man?
Yep.
We've had some
And
draws. We love a draw on opening day, but we've
Draws?
never we've never
Exactly.
lost. So yeah.
I think one of the first pair of news that we have before we read your comments is the status of Duncan Maguire. John, I heard it from you. Now I didn't know, like I didn't see if they really called him that, but it's the
Yeah, they
Holland of
did.
the
I didn't
Heartland.
make that up. I
You didn't
got
make
that
that
from
up. That's how
somewhere.
they call him.
No, because he scored so many goals in
Oh
college. That's
well,
where he got the.
the Holland of the Heartland. There you go. He he's official with Orlando City. So he is going to be, I think, our ace of spades. It seems like he's definitely going to have some minutes, hopefully against New York Red Bulls. Exciting. What are your thoughts regarding Duncan, John? Real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think Matt Doyle's been talking about Duncan. I think that says something.
Yeah.
I don't always take 100% stock in what Matt Doyle says, but I think he's right about this one. I think there's something about him. And when Kyle came in and when DK came in, everyone was like, they're just a rookie. They're out of the college, and can they step up? Can they do it? And both those guys within the a quarter of a season, a half a season, stepped up into being our first main team striker. So if Carr doesn't step up, and if Enrique's being used as a winger or taking more time to develop, we might end up at the end of the season where Duncan Maguire is our main striker. Like, I can see that as a scenario.
Yeah, and I like the fact that I love how he defends as well as he goes to the attack, and his positioning is very good. I think we're going to talk about most assists. Let's see who's going to feed him the most. Would it be Ojeda? Would it be Mauricio? but I think it is an exciting time. What are your thoughts, Paola, regarding Duncan?
I mean, it has potential, and we saw it last Saturday. He has that vision, and a lot of rookies doesn't come with that vision that he has straight out of college. So he's super physical. That's one. He's not DK. DK by nature, he was already, like a tick. But Maguire, I feel this is, like you said, the ace of spade. He's gonna go in and he's going to deliver what Oscar Pareja wants him to do.
So he signed a contract with the MLS as a pre-signed senior, which guarantee him through 2023 with Orlando City, with options in 2024, 25, and 26. I want to give a shout out to 1A1 Creative, to my friend Gabriel, and also to George. They're our photographers. We're going to be announcing them in the next few days with their pictures, like we did with Paola and with John. So, but that was a shot that Gabriel took on that game against New England from Duncan. So, definitely a very he was very bothersome for New England. For the back
Scrappy
line.
is the
Yeah,
word I would.
very
He's a
like, he's
scrappy
not afraid.
forward.
Yeah, he's not afraid of being physical, which it's something that Daryl Dike excelled on also, and now he's applying it in West Bromwich Albion, right? So let's read some comments here. Let's read some comments here. It says Eddie G, how you doing, my friend? I was not sure if we still get OCSC home games on over the air TV, but to be safe, I just purchased a $79 yearly Apple MLS subscription. Excited for sure. Yeah, same here. So
yeah, you know more on regular TV. It's all on the Apple. So and just go ahead and pay that full year because it's cheaper than the month to month.
Yeah, definitely.
And adding to that, the cameras are almost 4K. They're not 4K. It's 180 if I'm not mistaken. There gonna be some games in FS1 if I'm not mistaken, but the broadcast, kudos to Apple, is way much better than in the last past season. So,
and not only that, I mean, I think the whole experience, having all those little mini documentaries per club, and you're getting to know what they're all about. I think that's fantastic. That's something that ESPN had a chance to do, and they just never did. So I thought it was great.
The first week is free, if you guys didn't know. So you don't even have to pay out for the first week. So go, watch some games, see if you like it, and dip
free
your toe
promo.
in the water.
I'm just kidding. Free promo.
Etromic, the content on the MLS Pass is pretty cool. So far, the club profile brought back good memories for sure, especially Miguel narrating it, which I want to congratulate Miguel. I was talking to him in the New England game while he was where we were eating our meal. I want to give thanks to communications. He was telling us how excited he's about him being part of Apple TV, and we praised him because I mean he's such a good guy overall, just as a human being. Like when good things happen to good people, you just have to just smile and just be happy for them. So definitely kudos to him. You see him narrate the story of Orlando a little bit. So Orlando Lion,
you gotta
Orlando
go watch
Lion,
that.
Yep, Orlando Lion fan club says, what do y'all think about the Apple scoreboard? It looks too simple.
I heard other people talking about this. Like someone said it looks like a video game graphic, like it would in FIFA or
like
something.
Like OBS.
Like it's too basic. And someone said, why didn't they just like Applefy it and make it like an Apple Watch? And
or just put the logo next to each, and they just put a square, and that's it. I'm like, what the heck? But anyways.
Victor Sanchez, I got my Apple TV subscription for free thanks to OCSC. Right. If you're an STM, you got it for free. It says DK is always in my heart. It says Orlando Lion fan club. What forwards are available for tomorrow? So I want to say Erjan, he was in practice. He's back. Also Duncan, right? He's available. I think Erjan might have some minutes. I personally think he's going to start. He's back. He was training with the team on Friday on Thursday. So it was cool to see. It was good to see that him smiling, right? Because he just went through a loss. So it was good to see him smile and joke and just be with his peers. Uh, so let's dive into the predictions. I don't know if you want to start with some of the predictions right now, or if you have John, you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just we'll run through the categories and get everybody's opinions and have a little quick discussion and move on to the next one. We got quite a few, so we'll keep it moving. So
Right.
the first one is like most minutes you think. So which is the player this year for Orlando City across all competitions that you think is going to play the most minutes? I wasn't sure who this was last year. I actually needed to look that one up. So if anybody has an idea about that,
It was
that would be
between
interesting.
Pereira and Galese. There you go.
Ah, okay, yeah. I was gonna say Galese would be up there probably. So, Luis, who do you got?
I'm gonna say most minutes, and I mean, Comego scheduling. He's gonna be out a couple of times. Um, hmm, Interesting. I will say this season, Ivan Angulo. Now, Pereira, he's been the guy who has the most minutes, and but I feel like now playing the eight, he's gonna be on a lot of games starting. He may be benched in some other ones. I think that's one of the reasons why Pareja wants him to also catch a little break because he hasn't had a break the last two seasons. So and we need Pereira in the playoffs if that's what we're aiming. I mean, I'm already now assuming that we're gonna go to playoffs, honestly, because I think this squad, just by reading the names, screams playoffs. I mean, and I want to say this, it'll be very distasteful for this team not to make the playoffs with the cash that was inserted into the team, with the caliber of players and youth players that they have. I would think they're going to go to playoffs. So, um, assuming that, I think we have the the players now that are able to make an immediate impact and help them out a little bit in a couple games.
I mean, that makes
So
sense to me.
yeah, so I think Ivan Angulo, the way he's been playing preseason, the last two um, weeks out of the calendar of last year, he was phenomenal. He's still excelling in every game. He was very active in the practice on
Yep.
Thursday, very active. One of the people, he's a people person in the group. People love him. They praise him. They make fun of him too, but he's just confident, super confident
Yeah.
young man. I
All right.
believe he's gonna have some minutes. I think
He's
he's
gonna get
gonna
a
be
lot of
the man.
minutes.
Yeah.
Paolo, what about you?
I will say Cesar Araujo. I don't know why, but I got a gut
Oh.
feeling that
Yeah.
he's gonna be one of the top ones of more minutes. We
That's
saw
funny.
him a
I
lot.
also have him.
You had him in the,
Yeah,
in your mind.
I just feel like he's so integral to the way we play in that defensive midfielder position. And, if he's able to play and he's healthy, I think he's the first guy on Oscar's like team sheet for whatever game and whatever competition.
He almost played every single game last season. It was because of yellow cards accumulation. That was one, and he got a little bit of injury at the mid-season, but he was back super fast. So I think because of that, we didn't see him as the most. But I'm rooting for him. But let's see.
Speaking of yellow cards, who is our
So
next category? Who's got the most yellow
so before we
slash red
go,
cards?
so before
Sorry,
we
go
go to
ahead.
the next category, I'm gonna have the people vote on a poll. I just did a
Oh,
poll.
cool.
If you go
Awesome.
into the
Thank you.
comment section, if you're going into the comment section, guys, for people that are online right now, you can vote on there. I just put most minutes, Araujo, Angulo, and then Mauricio or Galese. You guys pick, and
Yeah.
then right now it's an even. It's 3 votes. One voted for Araujo, one voted for Angulo, and one voted for Mauricio. So let's see who's the deciding factor before switching to the next
Vote for
topic.
me. Vote for me. I'm just kidding.
Oh, geez.
All right. Well, while that's voting through,
Araujo just won. So there you
Paula.
go.
There you
So
go.
Araujo's the winner.
the people voted for Araujo. There you go.
Love it.
There you go. So love it. All right. So let's go ahead and go for the next category.
Yellows and reds. So I almost had Araujo for this one too, but I'll go first this time and give you mine. I've got Cartagena down because I feel like if he's gonna be playing center back at times, and he's the rest of the time he's defensive midfielder. I feel like he could get himself into some bad situations and get some yellows and some reds this year. What do you think about that one, Louis?
I mean, I definitely, I don't want to be. I love him. I think he's a fantastic player, but he's had some situations the past 2.5 seasons that we always get him. Oh, got him, and so I think Robin Jansen could be, and I'm not knocking him out. I think he's a phenomenal human being, phenomenal player. It's just sometimes the refs too, they exaggerate, but I think he's had some moments in which he's overly physical on the box. So I think he may get some. He may get some. Yeah.
Paula?
I'm going with Jansen too. This was
Jansen.
like,
Ooh.
hey, Cesar was one of the top contenders last
Yeah,
season, but
I
he
thought
downgraded and he calmed down. But Jansen, come on, dude, you're a veteran. You know how these refs are, but I see him.
He gets annoyed. You can see it in his face.
And
then you worry.
And I get it. I get frustrated too with this refs, but you have to be smarter, pick your battles, and just move on. So
I mean, he doesn't get many reds. He hasn't really. So
exactly.
he knows
Yellows he
when
has.
to stop.
Yellow, he has.
He'll
He
get
can
a
play
yellow,
Uno. He
and
can
then
play
He'll
Uno.
calm down, and that's okay. And we're
So
okay
right
with
now, we had 3 out of 3. Jansen won the most yellows and reds.
everyone thinks Jansen. Okay,
Yeah,
Jansen
Jansen's gonna get the most yellows and reds.
Alrighty, moving on. The category number 3. This is an exciting one. Most assists. This one was really hard for me. This time, we'll let Paola go first.
Me. Okay. I will say Facu will have the most assist. And the reason why he has already been with the core of the team the second season, it was a battle between Ojeda or Facu in my head, but I will go with Facu. He has the most experience already with the team. He struggled in the beginning of the season, but he knows what to expect. So let's see if time will give me in my favor.
I think you're right about that second season, for sure. I think the numbers for Facu will, both goals and assists, we're going to see
they will
even more from him. Luis?
I'm going to go with our captain, Mauricio Pereira. I think he's still going to be the maestro, right? The guy, the can in the hat, you know what I mean? He's going to be making things happen. David Copperfield of soccer, right? There you go. So Mauricio Pereira, I think he's going to be having the most assists this year. What about you, John?
That's funny. I also have Mauricio Pereira now. I just like you, Paul. I thought maybe Ojeda, maybe Torres, but at the end of the day, I think Torres, Ojeda, Cara, they're all going to be scoring, and Mauricio is going to be playing the ball to all of them. So it's going to end up that Mauricio gets the most assists because he's passing it to all the other guys who are just passing it to each other. Yeah.
If you don't think that Facundo is going to have the most assists or Mauricio, there's an option for someone else. And then just write on the comments, who would you, pick for most assists and why? And then we'll read it out loud right now. So just.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Ojeda is the other
maybe
shout in there.
We can replay this clip. We can replay this clip in the future and make fun of us, you know?
I know.
You're so wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
Victor Sanchez, he says, we love the Viking Jansen. He's a warrior. Yeah, he's phenomenal. He played in a huge club in Sweden too. AIK. Like that was a good club. Joshua Tall, do you think the starting 11 could be Galese, Rodrigo, if Carlos doesn't play, Holiday, Petrasso, Pereira, Araujo, Ojeda, Angulo, Torres, and Kara? We're going to talk about that before the end of the show, but I think you may be correct. I don't think AC may have minutes. I don't think he's going to start.
He's out. Oh no,
Yeah.
he's questionable. Sorry, he's
He's on the
questionable.
injury
Yeah,
list.
he's on the injury
Yeah.
list.
So yeah. So there you go.
Alrighty. The big one, number 4 on the list, is most goals. So we're just gonna land to see players gonna get most goals this season. That's across all competitions. We're doing all competitions for this. So I believe Luis, it's you up first, buddy.
Oh man, you're gonna be putting it really hard.
On the spot.
I mean,
I threw you under the bus.
because oh man, most goals. All right, look, man. All right, so call me. I think this year it has to be Facundo Torres this year. Like, how many goals he scored last season? I think he scored
12, I believe. No,
goals.
or less, or
No.
11. I don't remember. Let me look.
Okay. So, so we're looking at he needs to beat that mark. I mean, his ambitions are to go to Europe, right? So he needs to be in that 13 to 12 goals. So I'm gonna go for Facundo Torres.
Okay, Facu.
Alrighty. Well, he only got 9 goals.
Oh,
from
nine
last
goals.
9
year.
goals.
There you go.
9
So-
goals.
so-
There you
so
go.
he's-
So he's
So
got to
he-
do better than that. So
Yeah,
that's
so, yeah,
definitely an
so-
over.
Yeah. So
The only reason that I didn't consider Facu for this is because I think there's a high probability of somebody stealing him away in the summer, which really
Don't
sucks.
jinx
But then
us.
if you look at the goals overall, then that means he's really only here for half a year, and that's the risk with him, which could happen, but we really hope it doesn't, obviously. So for
Who
me,
do you
I'm going to
pick?
go with, and this is a surprising one, I'm going to go with Kara. I actually think that
Origin?
Kara's going to have a bigger
That'd be
year
great.
than last year. I think he is a quality striker. I think he'll get more chances this year, and I really hope that he steps it up and we see like 15, 20 goals out of him this year. I think that's a real possibility. And so therefore I picked him to be our top goal scorer. All right, Paola.
Ojeda. That's my pick. He's not afraid of shooting to make a goal. We saw it on the preseason games. So I see potential of him making the most goals for this season. Hopefully it's Kara, because you want to see your striker succeed, you know. But it was between him or Ojeda. I will pick Ojeda.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
that was gonna be my second option. I'll be honest with you, but I feel something's telling me
That fuck was
inside my
gonna.
heart. The Facu's probably gonna. I really highly doubt. I mean, if he truly goes, then fine. I doubt that he's gonna go this year.
I think what's interesting is, well, two things. One, usually in a season we could do this in like 10 seconds and be like that guy, because there's
Yeah.
usually one guy or two guys
Yeah.
right on the team. But this year there's 3 or 4 who we're like, which one of them is going to score the most goals, which shows how strong the team is. But also I think that we don't know where the goals are going to come from with this new layout and the new team, right? Last year we could see that a lot of it was going through Torres, but now with Ojeda and the two of them sharing the play, how does that look? Who's setting up who's
Right.
playing the ball? Like, who's the one passing the ball for the assist and who's the one finishing the goal? Like, most of the time we don't know what that looks like yet.
That's
so
right.
it's difficult to predict.
And the people have spoken. Kara, they're gonna go with John's pick.
Ooh, Kara.
Yeah, Kara.
Unleash
gonna-
the Kraken.
That's good. I've
Unleash
heard a
the
lot of hate against Kara.
No,
Kara,
I
so
think he's a fantastic.
I think he's got a good shot.
But now he has the people to feed him the ball very
I was
well,
gonna
so
say that, yeah.
Let's read some comments. Says, okay, sounds good. Carlos Rivas says, oh, from the
If you were playing
that
American football and you wanted someone
man, Carlos Rivas is playing
straight
at
above
the,
the goalposts every time,
the Crusaders. I mean, the new signing. Eddie G, what do you think about the new MLS playoff format? Round 1, best of 3, playing a soccer game. It's not like playing a baseball game, stamina wise. Yep.
We
We'll dive into
were
that.
talking about this. We'll get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, Victor Sanchez, Facu with assists and Ojeda with goals.
Ooh, Victor is like me.
Yeah, Etromic, Facu involved in the most goals. There you go. Thank you so much,
Goal
guys.
involvements overall, which is assists and goals. I agree entirely with
Yeah,
you, Luis, that it's going to be Faku. Like
yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be a lot of assists or a lot of goals or both and both. That part we don't know, but he's going to be involved in everything.
All I'm saying is this, and it's gonna I'm probably gonna think I'm selling smoke now, but I'm just saying. After seeing my Barcelona dwindle down against a horrific Manchester United team, which they're waking up with Ten Hag. I'm gonna give them that. We need that disruptor in the mid. It's not enough with Gavi and Pedri. Bring Facu in that jersey will look phenomenal.
I will
I'm
buy
just saying,
it.
right? I'm just saying. But then
Well, they're
again,
gonna have to compete with Arsenal. I think
to
Arsenal's
get
gonna come in with like 30, 40 mil in the summer.
well,
For real.
if he scores the 12, 13 goals that I'm saying, I think there's a high probability he may leave. Because any team in Europe, they're gonna see that Peñarol resume, the Uruguay
Orlando
national
City.
team. Like he fits the he hits all the checks for Premier League right now. So we'll see. So what's the next category, John?
Alrighty, now we're into breakout players. So this is somebody who, you know, really has maybe not had the best time in MLS, or is someone that we didn't expect to have like a really impressive season. Someone that's maybe a bench player or like a lower down in the squad ranking player, but this will be their year, and they're really burst onto the scene and get a lot of like first team minutes. I'll go first for this one, and I think it's a little bit personal for me. I don't know why. I just have a feeling about this guy, and it's going to be Dagger Dather Olsen, just because I like the way he moves in midfield. I like the way he runs at people, and I like the way he brings us something a little bit different than Mauricio. I think he's going to get a lot of minutes off the bench.
Okay. What about you, Paola?
I had it all wrong, but I'm gonna still mention this player. I want to go with Gaston Gonzalez because I feel that
No, that fits. He hasn't done anything, so he's definitely a breakout
exactly.
player.
That's
He's
why.
been
So
here, so yeah.
I just want to say that he will impress a lot of people because nobody like, oh, Gaston was injured, blah blah blah. So they forget that we had Gaston in the roster. So I'm going all heads on Gaston Gonzalez.
And myself, I'm going to say breakout player. And I hope I get it right because not only Orlando City depends on it, his national team also. It'll be Wilder Cartagena. So I'm hoping, and I'm very hopeful that Wilder is able to.
You said a lot. This is like do or die for Wilder.
Yeah, it's
right?
do or die because he has another kid stepping up over there, and I mean he has to be that Cartagena that played in Argentina, and I went to see the practice, and obviously he's playing very well. He's adapted very well to Oscar's system, but I really want him to be the breakout player. So hopefully,
Yeah. I feel you on that one.
let's see
Alrighty.
what people say. Let's see what people say first.
Oh yeah.
Let's do some comments real quick. It says, let's talk about Orlando, not Barcelona. It says either Ivan or Gaston, he says, for breakout player.
Yeah.
Joshua Tall, it says, hopefully Torres doesn't leave this season. It says, yo, Barca, 3 of the best players out injured plus a suspension. I think he should go to Barcelona. No. Well, let's see.
Good.
So people right now are between Wilder and Gaston Gonzalez. So, but I've seen Dagger Dan and
yeah.
I
mean that one is more
against
like
FIU. Against FIU, I mean it's FIU, but
I
mean,
think I just
I think
like
he's
the
not.
look of him.
Yeah,
I
he's
want him to
Icelandic,
be
man.
good,
So
he's that one was
he's-
a please be awesome, kind of like a hope, All right.
I think his attitude. Oh, sorry to cut you, but his attitude will help him too. I saw an interview and he's he wants to speak Spanish too to communicate better with the team. So that speak a lot. So
He just wants to be on the beach, you know. He wants some sunshine.
So-
He's had enough of living in Iceland. I get it. That's why I
No,
lived here.
I'm
England was
sure.
cold. Iceland is even colder. You know,
I would
get
love
it.
to go to England, man. It's like one of
No,
my
I mean,
like
it's beautiful, but it's
like I want to
miserable in
go,
the winter.
man.
Anyway,
the real
moving
fish and
on.
chips. All right, there you go, Mr. J Santos. Mr. J
Uh,
Santos 7 holiday. He's saying for breakout,
Okay.
and the people
Well-
have picked. They have picked Gaston Gonzalez won with 57%. So I just want to say that. So Gaston Gonzalez breakout player for the
Alright,
people.
Awesome. So the next one is Rookie Player of the Year. Now, this is somebody who is like their first year in the league. Technically, you could have Gaston Gonzalez at this one because it's, you know, he didn't really play. So really, their first year in the league. Go ahead, Paula, with your first.
I will say Dagger Dan. That's my pick. If it's from the MLS draft, I will pick Duncan. But we're talking overall. My boy Dan will be
I
Dagger
didn't
Dan.
specify only the. I was gonna do that, but I was like, nah, that's
Nah.
kind of mean.
No, but
Alrighty,
Dagger Dan.
Luis.
He will be, you know.
Oh, for me, break rookie player. To me, I believe Abdi Salim. Abdi Salim to me.
Ooh, good one.
I think Abdi Salim, the way he played the preseason, and obviously defender in Syracuse, I think we're gonna see hopefully a great season for him. So I'm gonna go for Abdi Salim.
I've been impressed by him in preseason. I think
Yeah.
he looks like he, you know, he's got the intelligence of a much older defender already at his age. which
And
is
I was
great.
surprised that he didn't play against New England, to be honest. I thought that he was going to come out of the bench, but, you
It'd be
know.
interesting to see him or Thomas Williams, who gets
Yeah.
more minutes this year. For me, I went with Duncan McGuire.
There you go.
You know, I feel like there's some hype around him. Maybe it's just hype. Who knows?
I really-
but, you know,
I
let's
really
see. I
hope
think
you're
he's going to
right.
start on Saturday. I think he is going to start. And I think Carr will come off the bench, sure. But, you know, give him a shot. Who knows? Who knows?
No. I mean, he's been phenomenal. I wish that becomes true also. I think he's a phenomenal player. And right now, everyone is voting for Duncan. Right now, I think he's overwhelmingly winning right now. One vote. Let's see what people say right now. Dagger Dan, there's 50-50 with Duncan. No love for Abdi yet. So this is Jim D. I think Enrique might fit in well. If given the chance, I think he can light things up. There you go. Thank you so much, Jim D.
I think it's interesting they gave Enrique the number 7 shirt. Like that's a big
That's a
shirt
big
to give
number.
a guy that, you know, is a bench player right now, but obviously they see a big future for him to give him that shirt, I think.
Yeah,
And
I
if-
mean, in Banfield, he played really good.
And
Yeah.
if it wasn't for that goalkeeper from New England, he would have scored that goal, that
Yeah.
head goal that he did. But
I mean, that's what we didn't talk about is Petrovic is like, I mean, man, you were looking at signing him. Like literally, like he's
Let
too
him
good for
go.
MLS.
Bye.
Man,
Go.
Man,
He's the only
man,
reason Revs are going to be, you know, do something this year is because he'll save them so many games like that one. Anyway, next category. Sorry,
Before
go
we
ahead.
go, it's a tie between Dagger Dan and Duncan McGuire. The next vote wins it.
Ooh,
So
vote
let's
for-
see.
no pressure.
The next vote wins it, guys. Come on. Here you go.
One
The
more
next-
vote.
One more vote.
vote.
Okay, it's gonna be a tie. Before, okay, yeah, because there you go. All right, it's a tie. So it's
Alrighty.
between Duncan and Dagger Dan.
All right,
42%
awesome.
each. There you go.
So the next one, Defender of the Year.
Okay, that's a great one.
And this one, I'm going to let Paola go first.
Okay, I gotta be honest, but we have seen this player develop since he got here. I'm gonna go with Schlegel, my boy Rodri.
Rodri.
Rodri. I have high
Wow.
hopes. Let's see. For him, less looking at the ball and defend.
Yeah, I mean, he's,
so let's
he's
see.
the guy to step up as soon as AC or Janssen get injured. So he's going to get a lot of minutes.
Exactly. So
this
I'm
is
going
his
with
time
him.
to become a veteran of MLS, you know? Solidify. All right, Lewis.
I think honestly, the way he was, I think it's no question that he needs to for this year to be his year. I hope that he solidifies on defense and he gets starting position. I think Michael Holiday or Mikey Holiday it's going to be his breakout year. Hopefully, as a defender of the year, that'd be fantastic because he's going to be going to represent the United States. So I would love to see him as defender of the year.
Yeah, I also have Mikey Holiday. I feel
There
like
you go.
he's just gonna. I feel like he might have a little bit of a rough start. Maybe he needs some games, kind of like last season, to really get settled in. But all signs point to him being the number one right back. So I think,
Right.
given that chance, I expect him to take it. If he doesn't, then who knows? But I think he's really going to shine this year. So
And right now, you guys can vote. Right now, it's even Stevens between Rodrigo and Mikey. Keep voting.
does
If
anyone
you
have
want,
another
if you have another
option?
pick, just write it on the comments and we'll read it out loud. Let's read some comments. It says, I'm going with Cartagena for breakout, Holiday for breakout, says Mr. J. Santos, Jim D. We already read that one. I'm a little scared. AC's out with lower body injury already. Season hasn't started.
Yeah.
Victor Sanchez, Papi, I got this. Jim D. AC's out already. Kind of sketchy. I don't think it's sketchy. I just think it's part of being injured. I mean, he's had injuries and he's had rehab in Brazil, and I mean, I just think he needs to be match fit. A lot of it is match fit. So Gaston Gonzalez was the same thing. He was playing against FIU on the B squad because he was trying to get match fit. But that means cutting weight, making sure that his weight and his muscle density is on point. So I really don't want to dive in so much of what it is. The club doesn't really disclose it much. It's just a lower body injury. But yeah, of course, it's for fans. It's definitely disheartening. But we have Rodri, we have Abdi. There's so many players. Thomas Williams. So
Williams,
I
yeah.
mean, this is time for them to step up. I mean, they're representing the United States, especially Thomas, Alex Freeman, Mikey. So it's time for them to, I mean, they're going to be 20 years old. So you gotta step it up. Now, you want to be a pro, this is your time. So this is Brett Carl. Will Gaston be back and play tomorrow? That's a good question.
He's in a plane today. I saw.
No, he might not.
He
might
might not be even in the bench, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, he might not. He might not have minutes. Well, you never know. I mean, I mean, I've seen Pedro go from Lima to
Exactly.
right.
Or
Like he did it.
from
He did it from playing World Cup qualifiers.
Exactly.
He flew to New Jersey and played, I think, the Red Bulls or NYCFC. Like, and then he told, after Peru's elimination. Yeah, after Peru's elimination, he flew from Australia to NYC, I think.
or
And then
New
he
England.
Oh yeah,
New
he played
Either.
like
Yeah,
the next
New
day.
England.
It was
Like
New England.
It was like 12 hours.
I don't
later.
have time. I don't have time to think about the elimination. I want to play right now, and so it's Pareja's call. But for what I know is that Gaston is match fit, so we'll see. So right now, defender
Alrighty.
of the year is a tie between Rodri and someone else. So let's see if someone can vote, so we can just
Rodri and
end,
Mikey.
no one has hope from Mikey. No one.
Wow.
14%.
Well, that's okay. I think
Oh,
he's
there you
gonna
go,
prove everybody
Rodri.
wrong.
Okay, Rodrigo.
Boom.
Rodrigo won defender of the
Rodri.
year.
I think Rodri is gonna see a lot of minutes.
Yeah, he will.
And he's got to step it up for sure.
Yep.
Rodri, if you're hearing us, step it up, bro.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
come on. You can take one of those starting spots. Could be yours. We promise. All right. Midfielder of the year. This one
Oof,
is really
that one-
really tough because we got so many good midfielders.
Yeah.
We are absolutely stacked.
Wow.
I'm gonna go first. I have to think about this one the most. I'm gonna go with Ojeda. I think if you look at his stats last year in Argentina, the guy is just outrageous. And I think the Argentinian league is similar in level to the MLS league. Not much of a difference. So even if he comes in and is playing like 75% of what he was playing at last season, he's gonna tear it up. And like Paulo says, the guy he tries to shoot, he tries to make the perfect pass. Like he's always looking for that killer ball. I think he's just gonna create real problems for other opposition in this league. So midfielder of the year, Martin Ojeda. All right, Luis.
Well, to me, I think midfielder of the year. I think, and we're talking about attack and defense, right? It doesn't matter, just midfield.
Yeah,
It's a tough one.
if you want to pick
It's
a
a tough
defensive
one.
midfielder for your midfielder of the year, I mean, you can. I mean, I love
think
Cesar
to me-
Araujo, but
Yeah, to me, I think Cesar Araujo is going to be midfielder of the year. I think he's going to win. He's going to be a starter in every game, and I think he's going to have a lot of good stats. And hopefully, I was going to go for Ojeda, but it would be a disappointment if he doesn't perform because of what you said. I mean, he was looked by bigger clubs in Argentina and things like that. He wanted to come to the MLS.
And
So
Spain too.
yeah, Spain as well. So
for sure.
I'm going for Araujo.
that's a great shout. I think he's gonna improve on last year and do even better.
Yeah.
All right,
Hopefully
Paula.
MLS All-Star. Hopefully.
That would be
Hopefully.
awesome.
Here you go,
I
Paula.
got Cesar on this one too.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I was gonna change, but I was like,
Nice.
nah, I'm not gonna change. I'm
I
gonna
love it.
stick with my
We've
boy.
got all the attacking midfielders, and you guys, you're like our best players are defensive
Well,
midfielders. Which I
our-
think is awesome. I
best-
love Cesar. I think he's
if you
he's
defensively,
so great.
I mean, we need to win at home, right? I mean, we're playing against some really tough opponents. I think every club has improved. We need that defensive. We need to win at home, man. And I think Cesar is going to be a huge part on this.
And one of the reasons that I pick him is we saw it in the preseason. Pereira probably he will be on number 8 and Cesar on number 6. And we saw a lot of him running to the left and then to the right in that midfield, up and down, up and down. Pereira not that much because he was looking to pass the ball. So that's why I was like, he's gonna be one of the key players in the midfielder. So
He has to be there to cover
overwhelmingly,
Pereira.
Ojeda with 80%
Wow.
midfielder of the year.
Everybody
Overwhelming.
loves Ojeda.
And let's
I
see.
just
no
really
pressure.
He can live up to it. Like I really do. He's
Victor
got to hit the
Sanchez.
ground running.
Victor Sanchez. What about Wilfredo Rivera? I really wish that he will get some minutes and he stays with Orlando City.
Me too.
I really don't want to see him go to USL or to MLS Next Pro. But I mean, if MLS Next Pro, I mean, to me, MLS Next Pro is better than USL. That's just my opinion. But again, hopefully he gets some minutes. I mean, Orlando's going to play the U.S. Open. I mean, this will be a perfect tournament for Wilfredo, the U.S. Open Cup. Fabian Loyola as well. Maybe they find a link up there between them two and have Mauricio rest a little bit and, maybe put a Cartagena as a 6 instead of Araujo having played some other games. They have that depth. So hopefully he's able to stay. I would like to see him there for sure.
I'm interested to see what the ranking of wingers or attacking midfielders is outside the first team. Like who's getting brought on as a sub? Like
Right.
if Angulo is starting, is Gonzalez the first guy who's being brought off to replace either Torres or Ojeda or Angulo? I don't know. In which case, how far up that order is Rivera, right? So how many minutes is he actually going to see? The same thing with Loyola. How many minutes is he actually going to see? If it's not that many, then send them out on loan. If they are here, then actually play them. You know what I mean? Like the worst thing they can do is just sit here and not play OCB and not play Orlando City and just get
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think Wilfredo Rivera for OCB will be a starter for sure. And but aside of that, I think the U.S. Open Cup. I would love to see a mix of academy with the first team. Like I mean,
I'm with you, yeah.
Urgent as a 9, maybe, and then you have Wilfredo, Fabian, maybe Wilder,
Leagues
and
Cup
then
too.
and because you have Leagues Cup, Alex Freeman as a right back,
Yeah.
or a left back. You have Thomas Williams. So I mean, I would love to see that and see how that goes. And Petrasso as a left back, Freeman as a right back. You have so many options. Hackenberg as a center back as another huge talent. So we'll see.
The early rounds of the Open Cup against the USL competition and the Leagues Cup, that's when those, fringe players have got to see some minutes. And they're going to have to, because we got so many games. We can't play our starting 11 for a lot of these games. So the next category, and this is the striker of the year. Everybody, I'll go first. It's easy because I already chose him as being the guy who scores the most goals, so that automatically makes him my striker of the year. It's going to be Ercin Cara again, and then I'm going to go over to you, Paula.
I'm gonna go with him too. Cara, this is your year. I feel it. So I call him personally the Kraken. I don't know why, but he reminds me of a Kraken because he's tall. He's like, pressing the box there. So exactly. So I want him to score more goals, and I have my gut feeling that he's gonna be with a lot of crosses this year. So
a lot of headers for Cara.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So for me, it's also Ercin Cara. but overwhelmingly, we've decided Ercin Cara. I think it has to be his season. He's a DP. He scored 14 goals in the Austrian Bundesliga. I mean, it's his time. I mean, we need to have that player come and play and exceed the mark that he did last year. Now, not to say I'm putting also as a second option Ramiro Enrique, just in case people want to vote for him, or maybe someone else. So I'm gonna send
or even Duncan
the poll right now, or even Duncan. Yeah. So just write it on the comments right there. But I think Cara has to be his year. I mean,
there's no excuse.
We paid a lot of money for him, man. About $8 million.
Couple of three. How much?
Million.
8.
I think it was 8 mil.
Yeah, 8 million. Yeah.
So he's getting the big bucks. He needs to score more.
That's right. So
I mean, I think that first year, like we said, is always hard.
It's always
hard. If he doesn't
hard.
produce the goods this year, then I'm like,
and even
maybe we get rid of Cara and find someone else to do.
Even
this, right?
Facu said it in an interview. He had to adapt in the first half of the season, and then he succeeds. So, and not every single person is the same. And
there's guys in MLS that have that first year and they do way worse than Cara did, and then their second year they kill it. So Cara didn't have a bad first year, but it wasn't as high as we expected, and so this year we expect more out of him, and if we don't get that, we're going to be disappointed.
Yep.
Alrighty, on to MLS predictions, and this is how Orlando City will do in the MLS season. Just in case that wasn't 100% clear. So first of all, the first thing is for goals for. So last season we got 44 goals for us. That means we scored 44 goals in the MLS season. We'll go ahead and start with Luis. Luis, how many goals do you think we're going to score in MLS this year based on last year's 44?
I mean, honestly, I think we need to go at least 10 up. So I'm going to say 54 goals. I mean, we need to win at home. Whatever it takes. All the changes the club is making, not only in communications but also on fan experience, it's for heads in seats. We need to have more ice in the squad, and in order for them to for some of the new markets to come and see Orlando is for Orlando to win at home. And I would like, now that we have Ojeda, Gaston Gonzalez in full form, Angulo excelling, young kids like Abdi Salim, Shaq, we forget about Shaq. We got Shaq too from Duke. So, I mean, we should be having at least 54 goals.
Yeah, I agree. Paula?
I'm going to be optimistic here.
Ooh.
60.
Wow. Now I seem
60.
really optimistic because I went with 65. So,
but the reason why I choose 60, we are shooting more the ball than last season. That's super clear. We're shooting more at the target. If you compare the statistics against last season and preseason, it goes way up. So
Did you say 64,
60.
John?
He said 64. No,
65.
65. Sorry,
Hey,
65.
64. You know,
65.
No, put 65. Put
Yeah,
65.
65. That's 21 more than
And then
last
Paula,
season.
you put how many?
60.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I think you're getting another, 10, 15 goals out of Ojeda straight off the bat.
Exactly.
You're probably getting more goals out of Torres, so maybe 15 goals for Torres.
And Angulo
Another
shoot at
another 10 to
the
15 for Cara, right? So that's a lot, and then you add in all the other ones like you said, Angulo and Gonzalez and Pereira and even Araujo. We got some, and the wing back. So
So
I,
let's say
I
so
think we'll
let's
score more.
see. Right now, everyone's going with Paola with 60. Right now, somebody just voted for John. And right now, like, okay, so everyone is going for Paola 60. So yeah,
Le-
so
Nice.
let's
It's
hope
nice
that
in
is
the middle.
John prediction though. Let's hope, because even more
Well,
goals is even better, right? But let's
All
see.
of us said more than last year, so that's the main thing. We're all over
Exactly.
last year's goals, so that's great. Then the next one is goals against. So the opposite side. Last year in MLS, we conceded 53 goals. So we
Makes me
conceded
cringe
more
this
goals
one.
than we scored last year, which I think says everything about our season and goes back to that home form that you were talking about, Luis. Right? 53 goals. So I'm gonna let you go first, Luis, on what you think. How many we're gonna concede this year in MLS?
I mean, so you said how many we were negative now?
53 last year.
53.
We conceded.
All right. So I mean, thinking positively, and again, we got to win home games. We got Abdi, we got Rodrigo. I want to say Antonio will get in form and shape. Thomas, Luca, that left back with Rafael Santos. Hopefully, he gets acclimated. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna drop it down to 30 goals conceded. So
Wow. So you're
So-
dropping 14 goals.
I'm
Sorry.
dropping 14 goals
You're dropping-
because
you're dropping
I just
23 goals.
yeah, I just feel like we need to win at home. Like we need to have a good record at home. Like Orlando has a squad to. I mean, a lot of pundits are putting Orlando top six, like in the East, top five. I believe that's what we need to aim for. Like not to be worrying about are we going to make a playoff this year? No. I mean, we don't have we have a good squad. So I'm going to say negative 30. What about you guys?
This is a tough one. Hopefully is what Luis said. Hopefully.
Mhm.
I'm going. Probably people will hate me, but I'm dropping only 3. I'm going with 50. 50.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't know. But I feel that Santos needs to be on shape with the team, and that's normal. He just got here 2 weeks ago, and we didn't see his best on the preseason, and it's because he was 1 week with the team,
Yeah.
and people were already judging him like,
No,
like
I
come
felt for
on,
him.
that dude just came over. Probably I just drop only 3 so we can replay this clip and make fun of me. So I don't want to jinx it. So 50.
Yeah, I mean, I have us down to 45 from
The
53. So not
I'm
very
the
far.
optimistic here. Let's
I
go.
think I think the potential
once.
injuries to Antonio Carlos
Exactly.
and Jansen
Yeah.
could be detrimental to our back line. I agree with Paula. I think the fullback situation, right? We know that we've got good attacking fullbacks. How good they are defensively is yet to be seen with Petrasso and Santos and Mikey Halliday and Freeman. So how many goals we concede this year, I don't know. I know we're going to score more.
Exactly.
I hope we'll
That's
concede
clear.
less, but I don't think we'll concede much less than we did last year. I think we're just going to score more. which is fine if we want to win
No,
every
no,
game 3-2. I'm fine with that.
Colin here, he
Uh,
writes, even if we don't score 65 plus, I expect us to greatly improve our chance creation.
And that's the
Exactly.
reality
Yeah,
too.
if we're just
That
gonna
is a
score so many, then
a
it
real
doesn't
statement.
matter.
It says, Joshua Todd, I like that you dropped it like that, Lewis. Thank you. Victor Sanchez, Pulpo is going to need more hands this year to stop goals.
El Pupos everywhere.
Well, hey.
All right.
Well, right now, everyone went with Paola again. Everybody believes that
Yeah.
they're going to have negative 50.
Paola's right there in the middle ground. She's
Yeah.
just picking the just right option on the three bears every time. Alrighty. Next one is total points.
Total points.
The total amount of points you think we're gonna have in the MLS season. Last year we had 48,
total points,
which is actually pretty not good. For
No.
considering where we finished in 7th, 48 in other years wouldn't have got you in the playoffs. So yeah, not a great start. I think we're gonna get more than that. I'll say that for now, and then I'll go first. I think we're gonna get 62 points.
62.
Yeah, so I put us up quite a way. Oh, sorry, I dropped my pen. So yeah. 62 points. Luis?
I'm gonna go. Go, Luis.
I mean, I think this team has everything, and I want to say this, and call me optimistic, but I do believe that this is a year that the fans should not be worrying about, are we making the playoffs? And I would hate, it would be very distasteful. And again, I want to say that again, for the team to drop to 48 and like Inter going above us in the standings. Like it just should not happen again. Now Cincinnati, they had good players. Now they have Arias, Santiago Arias too. They just added. And I believe they're going to be on there too. But I think I believe New York City, it's not going to be their year this upcoming season. I think they lost a lot of players. There's a big rebuild there. So I'm going to say it. I'm going to say 65 points. Quote me crazy.
Whoa. Even more than me. I thought I was crazy with 60.
Yeah. We need to be top 3 in the East.
Paola?
I
65 too.
I don't want to settle for
65
less.
too.
I want to be top 3. I want to be top 3 in the East.
And look, I have it write it down here. 65.
I think with Orlando being top 3 in the East, you shut a lot of people's mouths. And you also shut up a lot of fans and a lot of Twitter people and a lot of Facebook people. Like you just there's nothing they could say.
Yeah.
Like so I believe I want to say top 3. Orlando top 3.
So that leads me on to what the next question was. Where do you have us placed? And like, I want like a specific placement. So where do we end at the end of the season?
Like overall with West and East, or with East?
Just in East, and then what happens if presuming you guys are going to say we're going to make the playoffs based on how many points you're giving us. What happens then when we go into the playoffs, and where do we end the playoffs?
I'm rooting for second place. I wish we could be supporter shield contender.
Wow.
And be first. Because if we are going to score more, I see us in second place or first place. But I'm going into second place.
And what happens in the playoffs once we go through in second place?
I see us. This is a tough one. I'm gonna sweat here, but if we are going with our resume right now, with the paperwork, what the number says, with this roster, I might see us in the finals. Now, the season can tell me the MLS Cup final, straight up.
Wow.
Straight up.
So you said we're gonna end up supporter shield? Is that what you said, Paula?
Yeah. No, MLS Cup. MLS Cup. Second place.
She said also MLS Cup final.
Yeah.
Right, and what about you?
I don't know.
So a couple things. One, 65 points last year was Montreal in second exactly. So if we do a Montreal from last year, then we'll be in second with 65 points. The other thing is, Luis. Oh, sorry, Paula. Who do you have above us if we're coming second? Who's coming first?
It's
in that
either
scenario?
Philly,
Mhm.
because Philly is always a top contender. The system that they have and everything works really well. Or yeah, that will be my top one. Philly. Philly is the not the enemy, but the team that I will be concerned.
They are setting the standard for MLS. this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone's
Young
measuring
players
against
mhm.
Philly, right? Everyone's like, how good are we compared to Philly and LAFC? All right, Luis, where's your final MLS table finish? Where are we placed?
So I'm gonna go for third. Third. Solid third. You
Yep.
know. And who's above us?
hmm
Look. Again, if I see all the teams, one team that truly has been coming up the last season and the season before with a lot of the signings and the players that they're having and the core that they're building is FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, 100%
So
agree.
I want to say that this year the Philly trained. I mean, I want to say and I have friends from Philly, and I don't want to offend them or anything, but I think their jersey looks really like they usually have cool jerseys. But come on, man, that looks like
The
a cow.
Simpsons jersey.
Yeah,
The Simpsons.
yeah, it looks like the Simpsons jersey. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I that doesn't represent Philadelphia. I don't know. I just wanna.
It's
They
dumb.
should have just kept it with the classic thing. But anyways, I think Cincinnati will go top.
Hmm.
I don't know. Call me crazy, but
No, I think I struggled a long time to think who comes in that top three or
I
four.
think
Mhm.
And I think
Cincinnati will
Philly,
be above
Cincy,
us.
us. I also think the
Yeah.
Red Bulls will be very good this year.
And probably
Um,
Toronto too, but really don't know.
Toronto is a team that has a great first team, but outside of that, they have no depth. So
Like,
as soon as those guys start getting injured, and they weren't even that good last year, right?
yeah.
No,
Toronto could be awesome,
people
but
are
they also
smoking
could
the
be a
hype of.
disaster.
Yeah, people are smoking the hype of Toronto. I really, this the Italian tandem. No,
Well,
look,
we
man,
didn't see that last season, so
come on, man,
Yeah.
Italian tandem,
No.
NYC pizza. Give me something else. Like
So
I think
have
FC Cincinnati because they just got Santiago Arias, former Porto player, and I think he's gonna definitely add depth in their back line already, and they have a great striker, Vasquez.
Yeah.
I think Cincinnati may be above us.
So I have us at third as well,
Okay.
and I think Cincy and Philly just edge us out a little bit, but I could also see us finishing above those two and coming first. I think we're in the top four for me.
For
So
sure.
you're going for first,
I'm
John?
going for third,
third.
Third.
third
Okay.
like you. But then Luis, what do you think will happen in the playoffs then if we finish third and we're getting that home game and we've got the new playoff system?
No, to me, I think we have to get that home game. So hopefully, hopefully we get that home game. I think the fans deserve it, and I'm gonna be hopeful regarding that. So I believe we do have the squad. We have a core. We have a system that Oscar and has been implementing, and I see just to see them on practice, they're all committed. Like they're all like
How
running.
far do you see us going in those playoffs?
I mean, I would love to say MLS Cup, right? And if we, I mean,
we'd
if
love
we
to say
make it,
that.
all I'm saying is this: we should be making playoffs comfortably, and if we make it to quarterfinals, I think it's our chance there. So I'm gonna say for now, like quarterfinals. But if we make it to quarterfinals, this cannot be an MLS's next like I'm sorry, but we should have won that.
Performance. Yeah.
We should have won
Yeah.
that. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Orlando was clearly the best team in the
But
MLS.
we're good at cups. I mean, we showed that last year.
Yeah, we should like so once we get to like semifinal, quarterfinals, I think Orlando it should be their time to shine, and I have no doubt that Pareja is going to do that. So hopefully, quarterfinals for me.
Yeah, I mean, I have of us getting to the conference final, so
There you go.
not the whole
So
way,
right
but
now, people can vote
getting
for
knocked out to Philly or something for the East Conference final. I can see that.
Well, I mean,
What do people think?
It's just Orlando has so much potential, untapped potential with some of the young players. Like, look, Orlando has as different from the other teams in the East. Orlando has players in the under 20s that are in the national team. They're
Yeah.
regular starting, and also you have Felipe Martins. It may be his year. We haven't even mentioned him, but he may explode, and be that change of pace player coming from the bench. Ivan Angulo too, Gaston Gonzalez. So I mean, on paper, Orlando has good names. I'm not gonna say we have like Manchester City, like level, right? All these 150 million dollar players, but we do have a unit, and I believe we have very good players that have played in different leagues that if they all start playing cohesively, defensively and offensively, we may have a squad.
I think that for me is the big caveat of how this season goes is how quickly they gel together, right?
Yeah.
I think come the summer window, the League's Cup time, we're going to be a very good team then, but we'll be a good team at the beginning of the season because there's so many new players and getting them all together, and so many of them have come in late into the preseason, like Santos and these other guys that
Ramiro.
haven't had a chance yet to gel, right? So we're not going to be as good as we will be come the summer. So I think for us, it all hinges on that. The second half of the season, unlike last year, where second half we all went wrong, I think the second half of the season for us this year could be where we push into like a second, third place finish in the MLS.
So
Alrighty.
final
What's the
table
people
plays. The
saying?
people voted, and they're going. Oh, it's tied between John and Paola right now. So there's going to be a deciding vote, guys. So
All right.
vote
Vote.
ahead.
Vote,
Let's
vote,
read some
vote.
comments in the meantime. Love 65. This is Victor Sanchez. Thank you so much, sir. Etromic, top 3 finish should be attainable with this roster. Jim D, as
Great.
Madball says, we don't fake it, we just take it. Lewis has setting us off. Set it off. Set it off. Yeah, definitely. Joshua Tall, MLS Cup final would be amazing, of course. And if we make it, guys, we gotta win it.
Oh no, yeah, like that's
I
no
don't want the
option.
heartbreak from the MLS is back. That was the perfect. I mean, you imagine we would have been MLS back champions, and then Portland.
USO.
That team disappeared after the MLS is back, gone, obliterated. Man. Victor Sanchez, supporter shield. Victor Sanchez, at least is not Atlanta or Miami wannabe. Right? Joshua Tall. Luis, I like what you said about what could happen for Orlando City if they get to the quarterfinals. Yeah, I think it's
true.
I think it's our chance. I think if the guys with Oscar and everybody, after I saw the practice, like if they get a quarterfinals, like it's gonna be on. Do you think Facu's not gonna want to win? Like, come on, dude.
I mean,
Ojeda as well. Like, I mean, you're talking about people with big personalities. Cartagena too. When he gets like competitive, like
he's another player.
Yeah,
you can say.
Yeah, he transforms like Super Saiyan Goku.
Yeah. All righty.
So right
the other
now,
thing to talk about is the other competitions, not just MLS that we're in. So we'll quickly run through those.
Sure.
So the League's Cup, where do we think we're going to finish in the League's Cup? Again, this is the new format of the League's Cup, which takes place in the summer, which usually would just be a summer break or the international break. But now we have a little mini knockout tournament between the Liga MX and the the MLS teams. We have Santos and Houston. That's it, right? Just a group of 3. I have us down So a quarterfinal in the Leagues Cup, I don't think it's going to be a priority for us. I think we will play some rotated players, but we'll still get to like the quarterfinal. All right, Paula?
I don't have us even in the quarterfinal. I don't think that they're going to
priority.
take this seriously, and that's my honest opinion. I think they can win the first round and then go into the second, but not quarterfinals for sure.
Yeah, I think that's going to be like interesting to see which teams do care about the Leagues Cup. Like,
Probably people that doesn't have a potential to go a MLS Cup or something.
yeah, I mean,
So-
someone who wants to win, like San Jose is
Something.
like, "Ooh, we'll win something this year."
Exactly.
We'll
Or
win-
Vancouver. Who are the Vancouver
Yeah,
people?
Portland.
So yeah,
We're talking about
Portland.
Portland, Louise. They need a win. They can go after the Leagues Cup. What do you think, buddy? Where do you think we're going to come in that competition?
Leagues Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're gonna play Santos Laguna, right?
Yeah.
The first game.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna beat Santos. I'm gonna say this right now. I think Orlando has a better team than Santos Laguna. Quote me. I mean, they're like dead last in their. In
Oh,
their,
we're
in their league.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they're like 10th. They have conceded 6 goals so far. So
Yeah, I mean, them
Orlando
and
has-
Houston are pretty easy. So we're going to get out of that group. But, I also think we're going to play some youth guys and some rotation players for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, let's see. I mean, I think Leagues Cup. I think we're gonna make it out of the Leagues Cup. I mean, we might not win it, but at least maybe round of 16. Let's
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right.
I say
well,
yeah.
Moving on for the unexcitement of the Leagues Cup to the big excitement of the Open Cup and defending our title. I feel like this is a big priority for Pappy, and another trophy that we want to retain. We want to hold on to it. So for me, actually, I won't say. I'll let Luis go first, and you can say where you think we're going to end up in the Open Cup. Are we going to win it again?
I think on this tournament we're gonna be using youth players, and I believe that maybe Orlando may get to to a quarterfinal, and then is gonna be knocked out by a team that's with their A squad, and they're gonna pull on Orlando City. So I don't know if we want to be back-to-back US Open Cup champions. I mean, it'll be great. I mean, it's another cup. Don't get me wrong, 400K and all that good stuff. But I want to aim to higher sights. I think we have the squad to aim to. We already attained that championship. Let's just move on and maybe if our season is thrown off and that's the only thing we have
Right.
to hold for, then go for it. But I mean, I think we want to go with the mentality of winning every match, right?
Oh yeah,
But
of course.
I think Open Cup, we maybe get a quarterfinals.
I think what you're saying is if we get to later in the season and there's an Open Cup game and there's an MLS game and they got to pick who to save
And
the
if we're
guys
like-
for, they're going to
Yeah.
save them for the MLS game, I think. This
That's right.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah,
less,
I agree too.
it's secondary to MLS for sure.
Yeah.
But, still would like to do well. Paula, where do you have us?
Quarterfinals for the US Open Cup. I
Quarterfinal.
think every single player already said that they're aiming for the MLS Cup. I don't blame them. We already won the US Open Cup. If we get to the finals, I agree with Luis. We're gonna see academy players. We're gonna see a lot of bench players starting this matches. So quarterfinals it is.
I agree. I don't know how much the front office and Papi and everyone else thinks about the Open Cup. Like, is that a priority for them, or do you think they're 100% in just MLS is what really matters? Now we've won it, like really we just care about MLS, or do you think they'll still want to have a good showing in the Open Cup?
Well, I mean, I think. Oh, go ahead, Paula. I
No.
thought you were talking to
Like,
me.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I just think it's gonna be. I mean, I think there's gonna be a mix of youth and starting players, but I think Open Cup, the youth. I mean, I think the back line has Petrasso, Freeman, Williams, and maybe Rodri, right? And then your six is going to be maybe Shaq or Abdi Salim maybe playing the six. And then, maybe having Fabian Loyola, Wilfredo Rivera, and then up top you may see Duncan, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be it for me at least.
Okay. That
Um,
makes sense. Yeah.
And I think Papi has a big year to show the owners like, hey, we have a big squad and we're gonna make it to the MLS Cup this year. So I think he has to choose his priorities, and his priority is the MLS Cup for this year.
Alrighty, in the final competition that we're in for the very first time, Champions League, which is super exciting. We got a very, very tough draw against Tigres. Played early in the season. We're going to have a home and away game against them. I put us down, sadly, to not be able to advance past Tigres. I think that they're just going to be a little bit too much for us, a little bit too early in the year where we're not quite firing on all cylinders yet, and they're a very, very strong team. So I think we'll get one win and we'll get some goals, but I think we'll probably lose on aggregate, or maybe we'll get a draw and a loss. But sadly, I don't think that will be the end of our Champions League run. What about you, Luis?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would love to see Orlando advance in this tournament because of what it would mean to the city of Orlando, and also just to shut people up about the MLS, especially from down south. Like I want to just to shut up. Like I think the money is in the MLS now, and I am gonna be call me crazy. I have a feeling Orlando will beat Tigres. Yeah, I have a feeling Orlando's gonna beat Tigres, and they're not gonna see it coming.
Do you think they're going to get past them or just beat them in one game?
I think they're gonna get past them, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, we may get a team from El Salvador right after them, right? And hopefully, if that's the case, you can even advance even further a little bit.
I mean,
Now, I don't want to
if
say
we get past them, they're like the best team maybe in the Champions League on paper, right? So if you get past them, you could, in theory, beat anybody else in the Champions League.
Just let me smoke a pipe bomb right here. Let me roll one up and smoke it. You imagine Orlando City playing, FIFA World Cup, Club World Cup. Orlando City against, I don't know, maybe Arsenal.
Seattle showed. I mean, they won it now, so I think there is a shift where the MLS teams are getting to the point where they can compete in and for the winning of the Champions League every year. Whether we're able to do that, like we've never played in this competition, and we got to play the hardest team in the competition.
Like
early in the season, I think it's just too much.
For Orlando City fans, Orlando beating Tigres, I will take it as a mini cup win.
I mean, it's huge. You're talking about a statement that says we're here. Beating Tigres would be like, hey, we're here.
You're talking about you won in the league, saying paying attention to the MLS, to Orlando as a market. They have no freaking like ifs and buts now. Like, so that's why I'm saying that Orlando needs to point up. I understand it's tough. I know they've had they're already playing. They beat Atlas I think a couple of days ago, and I know they're in form already, game form. Orlando is not. But let me dream. They're the dream. So I think it'll be a huge statement for the league. I think we'll have the Twelmans, the Bogarts, all those dudes, Alexi Lalas, they're all talking about Orlando. They're all going to talk about Orlando, and it'll be fantastic. And I hope if Orlando beats Tigres, the fans support it. And the fans go to the stadium, because I mean that's gonna send buzz everywhere worldwide. Orlando, a little tiny city in Florida, quotation marks.
I mean, I love the positivity,
right?
I love it. Paola, are you as positive as Luis, or are you as negative as I am about the Champions League?
No, I'm positive with Luis, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Go tell us.
We're just starting the league and we have fresh legs. That's something in our advantage, right?
Mm,
Maybe we're not as, compact as Tigres because they have been already playing. They know what they're looking for. But I think with fresher legs, and I know that Orlando City players want to prove the league wrong. I want to shut them up. So I'm leaning more with Luis. Like we're going to pass the round, but I don't know what's gonna happen next because that's like a Pandora box. We have never competed in that league. Um,
Yeah.
so
And
I don't know.
If we do get past Tigres, it
Yeah.
throws the whole season because
correct.
they will have been predicting, that most likely we don't, and therefore this is the way the season looks, right? But then if we're playing Champions League games as well as the Open Cup games and the MLS games and
I'm
the league,
flying
if
El
we do a
Salvador,
deep
guys.
Champions League run,
You're flying to
Well,
Salvador if
hell
happens.
we're
yeah,
gonna
I'm
end up playing like 40 games in this year. Like it's insane how many games we could potentially play if we do a deep Champions League run.
I wanted it to go to Mexico, but my passport has not come in clutch, so I'm not gonna go.
Um,
But I'm gonna go on the match here in Exploria. So
I'm
Oh, yeah.
telling you, if Orlando beats Tigres, everyone else from my other podcast, Ladra el Fútbol, and I'm gonna tell you guys in your face.
just let us go.
There
Luis.
you go.
Let us
There
go.
you go. There you go. Because they're all telling me they're putting bets against Orlando. Oh, Orlando Tigres has it, man. I'm like, hey, it's
I
football,
wonder what the
man.
odds are for
It's
us to win
football.
that.
You, it's soccer, man. You don't know
Luis.
what's gonna happen.
What the people say in the comments, like put a
Yeah.
poll or something, and
We
We
ask
want to
this-
know. We're
so,
split on this one. I'm super negative about the Champions League.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
guys.
people are saying, are we beating Tigres? 71% says yes, 29% says no. So
I think Oscar knows League MX pretty well because he
Yeah.
spent
And that's
time there.
another-
So that
yeah,
is an
that's
advantage
another-
for us.
yeah.
I just don't know. We've never played in the Champions League. Like another interesting thing is that this is a true fact. The wall they actually put in seats. So the seats fold up. They were there from when the stadium was built because when you play a Champions League game, you can only have all seating and no standing. So this will be the first time. Maybe they did it for the US games.
That's
I
the
don't
seating
know.
wall.
But
What?
for Champions League, they will actually have to put up the
That's
barricades.
great.
I think they're trying to change that because, if they do it, like everyone's just going to stand on. They're just benches. People are just going to stand on
what John
them.
says.
So-
Look, they've played in worse conditions in El Salvador, in Nicaragua. Come on, man. Let the wall be the wall. Go ahead, Paul.
No. I was gonna say, are those seats like fold up? Because I know that they
Yeah.
receive. No,
Yeah,
but I know
they're like
they're
benches.
broken
The ones that
or not
everybody
because
kicks, the one that
exactly.
you smack
That-
your foot
that's
on and it makes
why,
a great noise.
yeah. That's why
that is
I'm
a seat.
asking.
It's a long bench and it
Eh.
comes up and then you're supposed to sit on it. No one's gonna sit on it.
No,
It's a waste of time.
but
But it was there because of the rule in Champions League.
thank you, John. I knew that it was a seat, and I'm like, why this is even
So
here
we
if we're
planned
not
for the
pulling it up?
future, knowing that we'd be a Champions League team. But I hope they don't make them put us up because no one's gonna respect it. Everyone's just gonna dance on them.
It's gonna be funny if the people who pulled them up, one of them are gonna be broken because of the
I
people.
think they're all going to be broken because everybody kicks them, and they're going to be like, "Oh, they've waited 3, 4. How long were they at the stadium for 2018? They waited 5 years for their moment, and they'll be broken."
So
Oh
what
my
the
God.
people say, Luis, about what
No,
our
people
position
are-
in the
people
in
are-
the
People are
CONCACAF.
saying, so right now, 71% are saying that we're beating Tigres, and 29% are
I
saying
love it.
we're not beating Tigres.
I love
I
that.
want to go for the
Positivity,
positive
people.
side, just
Yeah,
because.
good for you.
Let's go for that. Let me.
I love it. You're gonna make me believe that we can beat Tigres now.
And the new season of what's his name? Rich
Ted
Panetti saying
Lasso.
Ted Lasso's coming, so believe,
Ted La-
right?
It
Hey,
comes
I'm
out
gonna be
right
with a-
around like the next week after.
I'm
they
gonna be
play.
with a
I think
flag,
it's the week we play
believe.
Tigres away is the same week that Lasso comes out. Maybe that's
Everybody.
a sign. Maybe we should believe.
Put
Who
the
knows?
belief instead of blue. Purple.
There you
There you
go.
go.
The purple believe. All right, guys, that was all of the things, the predictions that we had on our list for the season. So thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you for commenting at the poll if you did that as well.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being and supporting us here. About 20 people live. Thank you so much. Drop us a comment, subscribe to the channel. Again, it will help us tremendously if you spread the word about the pod. I want to also announce too, Heart Full of Pride podcast is coming. Orlando Pride podcast, joining Loud and Proud Orlando. So we're right now in conversations with a couple of great Pride fans that are going to be taking over, covering the Pride for LPO. So there's going to be more content for you guys, as well as we're available now on TikTok, on LPO_podcast. And we're putting all of our snippets of the interviews with players and trainings and things like that with both Pride and City on TikTok and on Instagram. So subscribe to our channel, click on the notification bell for notifications, like the video. We're on Twitter as LPO_podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando. Thank you so much. And also, just keep supporting us. We're also available this episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. And Paola's podcast, Tiro de Esquina, at the Esquina Podcast, right? I don't know if I said it right.
I actually changed it so I
you
can
changed
have username on Instagram and Twitter the same. YouTube was not available, but on YouTube is at Tiro de Esquina Podcast, and then on Twitter and on Instagram, because I don't post the same on Instagram and Twitter, you can look for us for Tiro de Esquina OC. There you go.
There you go, guys. And make sure that you look for Tiro de Esquina on social media. I want to thank John and Paola for being here with us, and we'll be back on Monday. We'll have a guest. We're going to talk all about FC Cincinnati, the rival of Santiago Arias, the rival of this team that it's now hopefully a contender in the East, FC Cincinnati. We'll talk about one of my colleagues, Laurel Fowler. So I wanted to just announce it right now. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Vamos Orlando. Hopefully.
Vamos Orlando.
Vamos
See
Orlando.
See you
See
guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.